I look like shit, I sound like shit, and I feel like shit, mostly because I got a bit of a cold. So apologies in advance for that. I hope you all don't mind that at all. Sometimes I film these sorts of videos whenever I feel like it and whenever I just have a lot on my mind that I like to talk about at any given moment. And today happens to be that day, even though I got a little bit of a cold, and even though I am drinking something that I probably should not be drinking. I do not condone anyone drink any of this garbage either, because this stuff is really not good for you. Probably one of the worst things to ever put in your body, but oh well. Today we're gonna have a good discussion about 2024. This is kind of an annual thing that I like to do every once in a while, because it is a thing that I think is important to do. Just kind of reflect on the year and just talk a little about some of the things that have occurred. Even though most of what has happened to me personally, I already discussed in another video a while ago, which turned out to be a lot longer than I was initially planning for it to be, like almost an hour long, which is longer than any of these annual updates that I've done. Which is incredible to me. So, if you've seen that video, chances are you already know what 2024 was like for me. I would call 2024 the year of all time. That is probably the best way to describe it, because that is definitely what it felt like. It had a lot of highs, but it also had a lot of lows. I've done a lot of things that I'm definitely very happy with doing, like balisong flipping, which I'm gonna be flipping this thing a little bit while I'm talking to you guys. I hope you guys don't mind, but it is something that I just like doing whenever I'm rambling about life. And also I'm using my left hand, which is right now doing a lot better than my right hand, because my wrist hurt a little bit and I need to calm it down a little bit, so that's why. Anyway, my ramblings aside at the beginning of this video, let's actually have a good discussion about 2024 and some of the things that has happened. I'm not going to talk too much about my experiences in college, because I already made a very long video on that topic. If you're curious to see that, I would highly recommend you watch that video if you're curious about that. But to put a long story short, I've been very stressed. I've been not feeling particularly great because of that, and I dropped out of college because of the amount of stress and because of the amount of garbage that was happening to me while I was at college in the span of 6 years. So there you go. I'm a dropout student, and I am absolutely 100% proud of that. I have absolutely no regrets whatsoever about dropping out of college. It is quite possibly the best decision that I have made in 6 years. And that is just amazing, honestly. Like, I have not felt this incredibly liberated about a decision that I've made in my life in a very long time. I now have had a lot more time to get into other hobbies like balisong flipping. That was a terrible opening. And of course, I've also been having a lot more time to work on my editing projects for Phantom Strider, as well as a number of other things. And I just noticed in the background that my wolf has just fallen over. Luckily, there's a lava lamp behind him to catch him. But anyway, so I've been getting into a lot of other hobbies. I've had a lot of time to get into other hobbies recently, and I've also had a lot more time to work on videos. A lot more time to work on videos that I have not actually taken. And there are a number of different reasons for that. For one thing, a lack of motivation, honestly, to make more content. I definitely have a lot of ideas cooking. Like, I'm currently working on a bunch of different scripts all at once, so I can just make a bunch of videos at once whenever I find the motivation for it. But in all honesty, right now I've just been a lot more busy with working on my own mental health and working on some other personal things that have been going on. I'm not going to elaborate too much on it because it's all a little bit personal. A lot of it has to do with my financial situation not being very good and a lot of other crap that has happened. So I don't really think it would be worth going into too much of that. But let's just say I have been in a pretty terrible spot financially. And I've been working really hard on fixing that. And there's a lot of things, obviously, that go with that. Which one of which, obviously, has to do with me finding a job. I've been looking like crazy for a job recently. I've been trying to get a new job at a variety of different places. Have not been particularly successful at that as of yet, even though I have been trying really hard on that. But getting a job has proven to be a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping to get a job at some sort of a computer refurbisher or to get a job somewhere at a service desk or whatever. That so far has not exactly been very successful because a lot of the workplaces that I wanted to work at require I have at least some experience at the areas that they hire in. And I don't really have a lot of experience working at a service desk. I do have some experience refurbishing computers and whatnot. I've had some internships at computer refurbishers and thrift stores that refurbish computers and whatnot, albeit very, very old computers, not talking like the most modern high-end stuff, but very old like Dell Optiplex business computers that you can get for like $1 nowadays. Like those things are literally about as expensive as water is. So yeah, not exactly the greatest experience I'd say, but it's at the very least better than absolutely nothing at all. You know, so maybe I should actually edit my resume to properly reflect that. Actually, maybe that would be a good idea. My resume has not exactly been all that big, not all that great. There's a lot of it that just kind of that I feel like is just kind of missing. I feel like there's a lot of details missing in that because of reasons. Because I'm a fucking idiot and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing when it comes to putting a resume together or anything like that. But yeah, the point is I'm trying really, really, really hard. It's just been a bit of a challenge. So, but yeah, that is definitely something that I've been working on a little bit. I do want to elaborate a little bit more on the PhoenixStarYT channel and why that has been going a little bit slow. And to be perfectly honest with you, the reason why YouTube has been going a little bit slow for me doesn't have anything to do with me having a lack of time. I have more time than I ever had this year, or in the last 6 years in general, to be honest. But the main reason why I haven't really been making content at all, which, believe me, I am working on stuff, it's just been a little bit slow here, is because, like I said, a small lack of motivation. But I also just wanted to focus on some other hobbies that take nowhere near as much time as YouTube has. Like, I have a number of hyperfixations right now that I've been spending that I've been getting good lord, that I've been putting a lot more time into, because, to be honest, I much rather would just get into hobbies that don't really require me to put in all that much extra work. Like, the PhoenixStarYT channel requires me to put a lot of work into it, which, to be honest, I do highly enjoy it. I do definitely enjoy putting in the amount of work that I do for PhoenixStarYT content. Otherwise, I would not be putting as much effort as I do into it. But there's a lot of other hobbies that I get into. Like, I've been playing a lot more video games recently again. Before when I started getting into college, I lost my excuse me, my interest in video games for a while. And then recently, I've been getting into a lot more again. I've been playing a lot more video games, hence why I bought a Xbox One controller. That's right, I got an Xbox One controller a while back, which has been doing me very well. I would have gone a Series X controller, however, this Series X controller was just a little bit too pricey for my liking. I don't use that thing nearly enough to where I would want to buy one of those. The Xbox One controller was half the price because I got this thing refurbished, which is definitely very worth it. If you're looking for a good controller, get an Xbox One controller refurbished. You could get these refurbished for like $30 or something like that, and it will do you very, very well. If you only want to play PC games with the controller, this is a great option. The Series X controller doesn't really make a lot of sense to me to spend that kind of money on it. Like, I believe that thing costs like $60 to $70 depending on where you buy it. Which, to be perfectly honest, is a lot of money for a console that I rarely, if ever, even play on at all. Like, anyone who even knows me in the slightest knows that I don't really have a lot of modern consoles around here. Like, the most modern console that I have is sitting on a shelf here, which is the Switch Lite. And that thing came out a long time ago also. Like, the Series X and the PlayStation 5 and all are cool consoles, but they're just not worth my money. They're extremely expensive for the kind of games that I would actually want to play, which are also available on PC. A lot of them are also available on the PC version of Game Pass, so I can just play them for free if I wanted to do that. Obviously, at the cost of a subscription model for Microsoft, which, I mean, it works. It lets me play all the games that I would want to play on my computer, rather than having to buy all of those games on Xbox or having to pay a subscription for it and installing them on an Xbox or anything like that. Like, a lot of my favorite consoles in general are also just really old ones. Like, some of my favorite consoles are sitting right next to me. The Super Nintendo, PlayStation 2, love this thing. Really great. Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2, by the way, I got as gifts, which was really nice. And I also have the original Xbox, which is currently not sitting here. It's sitting on a shelf over here because that thing is broken. In the same way that pretty much all original Xboxes are going to be broken at some point, which is a problem that is relatively easy to fix. It's just a matter of swapping out a bunch of capacitors that are on that board, which I don't have the parts for right now, or even the means to get that repaired. So I would probably have to commission someone to repair my Xbox for me, so that I can play on my original Xbox again. And I am gonna get that done, because I love my Xbox. It's my favorite console of all time, and I would love to get it repaired at some point. But that's just not going to happen right now. But anyway, I've been playing a lot more games on PC, and like I said, the Xbox One controller, because of how cheap it is nowadays, was just a perfect option for me, and that is exactly why I decided to buy it at this time. And also, for the games that I have been playing recently, a lot of Need for Speed, a lot of racing games. Forza Horizon 5 is one that I've been playing and I have a lot of fun with. Pokemon Ruby I've been coming back to, which has been amazing. I absolutely love that game. I have a pretty decent team on me in that game, as a matter of fact. I got Mighty Yenna, I got, what was that thing again? The second stage of Mudkip's evolution. Oh, fuck, I completely forgot what the... Marshtomp was that. I got Shroomish and a bunch of other Pokemon. Shroomish is not necessarily the best option for a Pokemon, to be honest, but it does have a chance of stunning or paralyzing the opponent's Pokemon, which is very substantial, very effective in a lot of cases. And I highly recommend that if you do play Pokemon Ruby or any other Pokemon that has Shroomish in it, get Shroomish just for that one ability. It's absolutely amazing. All right. Yeah, Pokemon Ruby, I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've been spending way too much time on that, to be honest. But a lot of that has to do with how Pokemon is designed. Like, it's a lot of grinding work, which I personally... I'm not gonna make this into a rant about Pokemon or whatever, but I do find a lot of the grinding aspects of Pokemon, and not even just Pokemon, but also a lot of RPGs in general, kind of frustrating to deal with. I'm not a big fan of that, and it's honestly my least favorite aspect of the Pokemon games as well. But Pokemon, I kind of tolerate it because, I don't know, there's just kind of a chill aspect to Pokemon, to grinding in Pokemon. And it's a lot less involved than a lot of the grinding in some other RPGs that I've played, which is honestly quite nice. But yeah, Pokemon is one of my fixations. I've been watching the whole anime of Pokemon Advanced, mainly because that was my favorite Pokemon anime when I was a kid, and it still is my favorite anime to this day. I love May, I love Max, Brock. I still love Ash Ketchum. I know that Ash has gotten a lot of shit in recent years because his character arc has been over like 20 years ago, but it still was getting milked to shit by the Pokemon Company and everything. But I don't know, I still really love Ash. I think it's a great character, and I'm honestly kind of sad to see him go in recent anime, but that's just me. So Pokemon Advanced, the anime, I've been watching again, which has been really nice. Really love coming back to that one. And another hyperfixation, like I said, was ballad song flipping. Now, ballad song flipping is something that I honestly never thought I would ever get into, mainly because I didn't even realize that ballad songs in the form that they can make today was even a thing. Like, this right here is what is known as a ballad song trainer, so it doesn't have any sharp edges to it. And I really love these. I actually have two of these. Let me actually grab the other one. There's no cuts in this video. I'm gonna leave this completely uncut, completely raw, because I want this to be as raw as humanly possible. So there you go. I put this in its own little sleeve because it came in a sleeve, and I thought that was so cool. I just wanted to keep the sleeve on it. The other ballad song is this one, which is actually my favorite one out of the two, because it's a lot lighter than this thing is, and it honestly looks a lot better. Like, I love the that thing shines absolutely beautifully. I love it. I want to make more ballad song related content, honestly, on the PhoenixStarYT channel. But it's kind of difficult for me to do right now, because most people, the way that they would make ballad song content is they would just take a camera. Let me just grab my old phone for this. They would just take a camera, could be a phone, could be literally any sort of camera, and they would either hold it to their chest like this, or they would strap it to their heads, and then they would aim it down at their ballad song, or at the or just down in general, kind of like this, and you would be seeing the good lord, I cannot speak, and you would pretty much be having a kind of a POV view of the flipper just flipping his ballad song like that, and it is honestly just the slickest freaking thing ever. I do like those kinds of videos, but I honestly also think that they are just kind of overdone. What I would much rather do is just make not necessarily like reviews, because a lot of other content creators do review content a lot better. I would like to just do sort of a ballad song spotlight at some point, where when I have a bit of a bigger ballad song collection, because I will be collecting these, I will be showcasing a few ballad songs that I have in my collection, talk about what I think of their design and their flipping and everything, but mostly just kind of discuss how I feel about the design and what it means to me, because I do think that every single design that a lot of ballad song makers put into their products has a special meaning to them or have a story to them, and I like to tell that story in some of the content that I will be making on ballad songs whenever I get the equipment and the time to make such a thing. I think that would be really fun. But most of my time with ballad songs right now has been put into learning how to flip and how to do tricks. I'm not gonna do any involved tricks right now because I'm not really sitting in a comfortable position to do so. And also, my right wrist, like I said, is hurting a little bit, so I need to heal that before I do anything crazy. And one of the reasons, by the way, as to why my right wrist has been hurting is that this is the ballad song that I've been flipping for the most part ever since I got it, and it's heavy. It's quite heavy, especially when compared to this silver boy, which I love so much more than this thing, purely because it is much lighter and it's much less fatiguing to flip. And also, it doesn't injure my wrist, which is substantial for me. I much prefer that over over this because, yeah, I definitely do not like it when I flip ballad songs that that hurt my wrist in the long term. So, as I get more and more ballad songs, this thing is probably gonna be sitting on my shelf for the most part, probably, and my time flipping will be spent with a lot of other ballad songs that I just enjoy flipping a lot more, because that is just a thing that I would much rather do with that. So, yeah, that's a lot more positive than what I talked about in that hour-long video about college. And I just want to be perfectly clear that most of the bad times that I've had this year were primarily just college that was dragging me down, because college really did quite the number on me this last year. 2024 wasn't all bad. I definitely had my good moments, and I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot of new skills that I really enjoyed. I refound my love for just playing video games for fun and all that, and that is already more than worth it to me. And there's not all that much more that I could possibly ask for than that. But overall, I would say that 2024 still left an awful lot to be desired in terms of how college has gone, how I have been treated for the entire year, because college has not treated me very well, not mentally, and also just kind of in general, because the particular school that I attended just loves to just drag you down into the mud whenever you're not living up to their standards. And I'm not just saying that in the sense of that they they just completely neglect you the very second you don't have the grades that they would like to see. No, they just talk shit to you right in front of your face whenever you don't have the grades for it, which like getting very bad grades in college is already demotivating as it is. But having my professors just kind of treat me shit for it, give me shit for it, just kind of not a fan of that. But yeah, it was not great. There was also a lot of other things that was college related that was partially thanks to my family. I'm not going to elaborate too much on that because it's very personal to me, and I'm only really vocal about it in particular circles. But I'll put it this way. My family loves to treat me like shit whenever I am not living up to the expectations that they have for me, and they often just love to rub it in my face, which it gets really frustrating at best and straight up hurtful at worst. Like, it's already bad enough whenever college is getting very stressful for me, but whenever I just kept being pressed on by my family to just keep going and to not quit, or to just give up literally everything that I enjoy about life, be it balance flipping, be it doing my YouTube stuff around here, be it my editing work, for the sake of just continuing doing college and stressing myself out over it and everything, was just really, really painful for me. At one point, I was even offered a pretty ridiculous amount of money in exchange of me literally quitting everything that I do right now. And like I said, that would include all of my hobbies and my editing work, just so I can do college. That was straight up manipulation on my family's part. And I just straight up rejected that offer because fuck that shit. Here's the thing with me. I am not going to allow people to manipulate me in any way. And I don't care if people think that it wasn't meant to be manipulation otherwise. That is a straight up manipulation tactic, and I am not going, I am not for that. I want to live my life the way that I feel comfortable. I want to be able to express myself and who I am, and I just want to make the most out of my life, and I do not have any interest in living my life the way that other people want me to live my life. If people try to manipulate me into not expressing who I am and to not live my life the way that I want it or the way that they want it, I am just going to straight up reject any offers that have anything to do with that, because I legitimately do not feel good about being suppressed by somebody for the sake of doing something that they think is the good norm or whatever. Like, that is just absolutely 100% not me. If you've ever seen any content that I make on the PhoenixStarYT channel, be it my live streams, be it Koen's Corner, be it the Ponython, or anything else that I create on here, you probably know I'm a bit of a, excuse me, I'm a bit of a weird nerd. I'm a very fucking weird nerd. I like fantasy shit. I like My Little Pony. That's a terrible way to show that, but fine. I like old tech. I like retro games. I like this absolute beast of an old computer from the 1980s. And I like wolves. I'm a nerd, and and I want to be able to express that, and I want to be able to just live life the way that I like it, and I also just like to do stuff that genuinely make me happy. And if someone gives me a absolutely stupid offer, frankly, to give me a lot of money in exchange of me giving everything up that makes me happy, I am going to reject that offer pretty much immediately, because fuck that noise. All right, so there's that. I rejected that offer completely. I'm not gonna explicitly state who made that offer, because again, it's all very, very personal, and I'm already giving a little bit too much away as is by by telling you guys that. But I do think it was an interesting story to tell as to just how far some people would go in my circles to push me into continuing to do college and to just focus on college and not focus on anything else in my life, just so I can graduate and get my diploma and whatever. Because apparently some people think it's far more important that I be miserable instead of happy with life. I get that college is important. I really do. College is an extremely important thing, especially where I live, where diplomas literally mean everything. If you cannot get any sort of degree in any sort of field that you may want to work at, you are almost guaranteed to not get any work in that particular field where I live. Yes, it is really that strict, and the amount of levels in terms of education where I live is insane. There are so many levels to it that, and there's so many layers to it that it is incredibly confusing even to a lot of people in my home country. And whenever I try to explain it to someone, they would just go, because it's just really that insane, that's insanely stupid, and that insanely confusing. So I'm not even gonna begin to try to explain that here as to how the education system in my home country works, because it's a mess and it's really not worth getting into and trying to explain it to you guys, because no, just no. But yeah, it really is crazy how the education system. But like I said, I get that it is extremely important. I understand how important it is, but it is not in any way, shape, or form anywhere near as important as my life, as my hobbies, as the people. Oh my God, as my hobbies. As the people that I genuinely care about, like my friends, my girlfriend, and everyone in my family, except for those few jerks that are in my family, and all of that. And, of course, the things that make me happy in general. Like, stuff like this that I do on YouTube may not really seem like much to some people out there, which, fair enough. But this is really my safe space. This is a place where I can just talk about literally anything that's on my mind. And I know someone out there will be listening to me and watching my content and either relate to it, learn something from it, or even just get a good laugh out of my stupidity. Because that is honestly what I make content for. I make this because, for one thing, I love making content, but even those few people who actually watch my content, I can either learn something, I can make them laugh, or I can just give them something to relate to. And that is, to me, the most important part of out of everything that I do. I already made an entire video on this very channel about why I make YouTube content and why you should too. Actually, the video was very specifically titled, I make YouTube videos, so you don't have to, but here's why you should anyway. And I thought it was such a fun video that it's actually one of those off-the-cuff videos that I'm actually the most proud of, because it's about a topic that I'm genuinely passionate about and that I have a very strong feeling for. I have a lot of passion for that particular topic, and I would love to remake that video at some point in a lot more of a elaborate way. Just heavily edit the video and talk about it in a little bit more detail than what I ended up doing in that video, even though that video was already over 20 minutes long or something like that. I make a lot of long videos about stuff that I'm passionate about on this channel, as you probably can tell. But yeah, that's just the kind of thing that I'm here for. Even though I'm not terribly active on the PhoenixStarYT channel, and even though I don't really put all that much work anymore into the content that I upload anymore on this channel, I do have a lot of ideas cooking up about topics that I'm genuinely passionate about and that I'm very excited to actually talk about. I have plans for ballad song videos, like I said, which is going to be really fun. I do kind of want to get a bigger collection than what I currently have, because I feel like it would be more interesting to talk about more than just the 2 ballad songs that I currently own, especially because I kind of want to have more experience in the ballad songs that that are currently available on the market. There are a lot of ballad songs that I could get my hands on, and I would absolutely love to do that if I ever get that chance. But right now, these are the only 2 ballad songs that I currently own, so it's what it is. When I get more ballad songs, however, you will hear me talk about them either on here or on Blue Sky. So if you're interested in those kinds of things, I definitely encourage you to follow me on Blue Sky so that you can learn a lot more about this kind of stuff on there as well. And I also talk about some other hobby things that I do from time to time on Blue Sky as well. Speaking of Blue Sky, I switched away from X entirely. My X is completely dormant, outside of a couple of exceptions here and there where something really important happens on X, and I just want to bring attention to it on my own X page. But for the most part, that entire page is completely dormant, and I am very active right now on Blue Sky. So if you want to have more personal interaction with me, Blue Sky is the way to go right now. I highly encourage you to follow me on there. And we'll have some good discussions about a number of things. I will be posting a bunch of random quips, a lot of random crap that's on my mind. Sometimes a fun fact, sometimes some random quotes, and sometimes also some screenshots of what I'm working on, be it Koen's Corner, Phantom Strider content, or something else that's going on in my life. Because there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot to share, and I would be very, I'm very excited to share all that is happening in my life, and I would be very interested to hear from you guys as well as you follow me on Blue Sky and all of that. So, that's really about it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of 2024. I hope you all have a wonderful December. And here's to an amazing 2024 and a lot of awesome videos, fun facts, random videos that I post here and there, some good laughs, something to learn from, and of course something to relate to, because that is what we stand for here at Koen's Corner. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.